Where's Jan? I gotta get this show started. Hello? Here. Why does she always make these delicious looking pies and just candy and all these things?
I just love Halloween.
I wonder if I should have some. No, I should probably try to resist. Oh, now look at Jan. She's yummy. She's getting out the candy. Oh, she's having a sucker.
Oh, I just really need some sugar.
I guess I'll have a banana. I should really eat healthy. Look at Jan over there. She doesn't care how many calories she eats.
Oh, maybe I should have picked a banana.
People in the valley, people in the valley, people in the valley, people in the valley. People in the valley.
This episode of People in the Valley is brought to you by Dish Connection.
We really need a dish right now, dish right now, dish right now.
For all your Dish Network needs, call 920-361-0478.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Jan.
And we are People in the Valley. I just picked this up. Why we make mistakes. I have a question for you. Do you think when you take a test that you should stick with your first answer or go back and reread it and change it?
I never really had time to go back and reread because I'm really slow, but I think first instincts. Usually if I change it, it's going to be wrong. First instincts.
Okay, that's also what my husband and my teenage daughter said. Nearly 80 years of research on answer changing shows that most answer changes are from wrong to right, and that most people who change their answers usually improve their test scores.
That is why I got these.
And yet, even after students are told of these results, they still tend to stick with their first answers. Our first impressions are very ingrained. And even when they're wrong, we still think they're right.
Okay, this might not
Isn't
be
that interesting?
It is interesting. I think I want to read that book. But okay, I'm at this party. It's for, football end of season party. So I'm talking to one mom and she's like, I like to win. When we go, I want to win. And so I'm there going, I like to win too. No, there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta want to win. You're out there, but 10 minutes later, I'm talking to this other mom that says, you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some. And the kids have to be okay with both. So it's not all about winning. It's all about playing the sport, getting into the game, and then come what may and dealing with it. And I just thought, yeah, I can get into that too. So I did change my answer a little bit.
Well, I think that, inherently when you play a competitive game, you'd like to win because there is a winner and a loser.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about.
Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? One thing I do think, though, I think it is important for the kids to win some because it's good for your ego and for your self-esteem, but you also have to be able to lose. So if you're in an all-losing team and they lose all their games, that's very demoralizing.
Yeah.
If you are an all-winning team, sometimes that becomes, anything that becomes commonplace is no longer as exciting. So it's nice to have a little of both.
I mean, if you have a group of kids playing a sport and you have the same group of kids for a 4-year period playing a sport, can you really change it? Can you really become, if you're a losing team, become a winning team with the same group of people?
Well,
just
if
by
you watch
conditioning or different coaching or...
That's an interesting...
Really happen?
I wasn't sure about that until I watched the movie Invictus about Nelson Mandela and the South African rugby team. When Nelson Mandela became...
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Oh, it's wonderful.
That is the power of positive thinking.
To me, I think you can change a team's whole dynamic by what you as a coach or the leader of that team, it could be one of the players, bring to that. So if somebody is uplifting you and encouraging you, you tend to want to rise to that.
Yeah, then that becomes priority. I think whatever you're doing in your life, whatever you're prioritizing, that's what's going to come to be the best.
But if you feel like, yeah, I have the potential here.
Yeah,
if
I
someone's
can do
building
it.
you up, don't you say, I could do this. I can run a marathon.
Okay, training, potty training.
Do you yell at your potty training child, or do you encourage? Do you go, good job, you
I know what
peed in
I'm
the
supposed to
potty.
do, but
You
when I
peed in the
actually-
potty. You even put the Fruit Loops in the toilet to have the boys aim at them.
Well, that was after cleaning up a lot of pee around the toilet.
If anybody has a good way to get pee smell out of the bathroom around the toilet, call me or email me, because
No, you have to get the pee in the toilet to
yeah, you
begin
get
with.
doodly-oos.
So start with the Fruit Loops. The little boys have to.
You know, in coaching or in parenting, the encouragement versus yelling and demoralizing. So
Yeah, I think it's huge in coaching, because you just talked about Nelson Mandela, and his form of coaching was all positive, all you can do it.
Well, inspiring.
Totally
Inspiring. That's key.
elevating. I don't know that everybody has that in them, but I think the coaches that do have that and are constantly seeing what they're doing well and encouraging that, and as opposed to what they're doing wrong and always getting frustrated over it, they're going to be the better coaches, because they're, elevating.
and that goes against the grain of like Vincent Lombardi and that kind of coaching, where winning isn't.
But you don't know what he was doing behind the scenes. Sure, you saw him on the field very passionate and yelling, but in the locker room, maybe he had that in him where he was very
Hopefully.
elevating. I never read about him, but I would guess he would have some of that, because I can't imagine winning so many games without having that ability.
Hopefully that, I just think, it's like training dogs. People are very similar. When we are elevated and we are spoken to positively, we tend to want to perform.
Yes.
And we tend to want to do good things.
Give me a treat. Give me a treat.
We're all, thank you. And that's how you're supposed to train dogs, too. Good boy. Way to poopy on the grass. It's all about getting people to poop and pee where you want them to. And
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts. And then once you accomplish that, you should just use that in all other aspects.
And you grow from there.
People in the valley.